Hi guys and gals, there's gals watching too. Cyclic here on RCG, got CX10 blue board here on the vise, and also got some Huiying HY851s, going to do antenna mod on. This blue board I'm just got up here just to show, not really, this is the blue board that is not turning on, as I've been talking about online, and I don't really want to fix this blue board. I've got too many other ones like the green and red boards that I like, so I'll probably just give this away on RCG on the CX10 and 11 forum. If anybody wants this blue board and try to make it turn on, it was brand new, motors work. I'm going to take the motors off, but if you want the blue board, let me know. Anyway, right here on the bottom side of the blue board is where they got the antenna grid in this area, and that silver circle right there, that's where we're going to hook up our antenna, but on the other side. So we'll flip it over to the top side, and there's a silver circle. It goes through, and if you put a continuity tester on it, it should beep. That's what I've already done, but to save time we won't do that. That is and it's on the end of the string of these components here. And it's a lot nicer here on the blue board to put the antenna. So what I would do, I'm going to take the metal wire antenna, put it in the hole, solder it there, and then position it and pop it out the top like I did on the HY851s. But we'll go ahead and just do that on the 851. So that's the one I'm going to do from start to finish. So what I would do here is get an 851, start taking it apart. Take apart the guards. Now, this is really a wonderful little flyer. I'm in love with it. I like flying it just as much as the TX10. This is the one that I've already put the antenna on, and this is the two things that made it a brilliant flyer. Glue the motors, put the antenna on it, and that's it. It's freaking great. So I'm going to do it to all of them. And my CX10s have good range. The green and blue boards, or not the blue board, the green and red board, but sometimes around obstacles they tend to lose a little signal, cut out for a second. You know, around power lines too, you know, sometimes they'll even drop out completely, just depending if they get behind a tree or something. But I'm thinking if we put on an external antenna on top of the CX10s too, one of these little wire ones like I did on the 851, it'll probably eliminate all of that. These screws are being real stubborn here. Okay, now I just get my side cutters, like I've shown in my other video, and just pop it real gently. If you get them just right, it just pops them up really neat. But sometimes you got to pry a little, then you get it underneath. So hope this is turning up on the video. Pop that one out. And I just do this, no practice, no script or anything, obviously. That's why I'm glad you guys bear with me doing these videos. I'm definitely not a pro. Take out the bottom screws now. Gotta actually turn the screw. 1, 2, 3. This one I like taking apart much better than even the CX10 with the clips, because it doesn't need clips with the 8 screws. You know, it was brilliant putting screws on the very end right here. It's exactly where they're needed. It was missing on the other ones. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip this guy, put him in the vise. I guess we'll take the top part of the shell off too. There we go. Okay, first thing we're going to do, take off the battery. So now, while my soldering iron's heating up, this is what we're using here. This is some banjo string, I got online, eBay. Really neat. I was looking for some wire that was stainless steel and pretty stiff, that didn't want to bend too easily, but wasn't going to break too easily. And what better than musical string, because somebody's twanging it all the time. It takes lots of abuse, so that should be the right combination between tensile strength and hardness, so it's not too brittle and not too bendy. So most of this musical wire is 2 or 3 wires put together, and this one is 0.6 millimeters. But that's the full wire. It does have, this one is wire wrapped with a fine wire, so I'm just using, on the very end it's just the bare wire, and that's 0.4 millimeters. Well, actually this one's 0.37 or something like that. The other one was 0.4 that I put on the first one, and this is perfect. I don't really want to go any bigger than that, because after all, this thing's a nano, and we want to keep everything light. So I got some marks here on the table. I'm making it 32.5 millimeters. That's what Ribble on RCG calculated for me, and it worked so good on the first one. That's exactly what I'm going to make it on the second one. Wow, this is some good wire. Cut not too easy. Okay, there we go. Got a little piece of wire here. Soldering iron should be warm. So gonna take off the battery here really quick and get some solder on the end of my tip. Got 1 wire, 2 wires. Just be really careful. I'm trying to clean some of that solder off. I'll do that later. Okay, battery, put it in a safe spot. Okay, now here's the grid on this baby. It's right there on the bottom side, pretty much same location, but the hole on this guy is not so clear and big, but that's okay because we're not gonna use the hole per se. Here's the grid where the letters are, and it's a very tiny hole, I mean microscopic hole right there on the end of the grid, right where on the end of R and 1 letters. Okay, so we're going to flip it over and follow that hole to the other side. I already know where to go because this is what we did last time. I screwed up. I was trying to put the wire on that side, the first one, and I ripped the grid off and didn't put it in the right spot, and it didn't do too well. So really it turned out better putting it on this side. I got to see where the hole is again. Oops. Okay, the hole is on the end of this chain of components. It is so small to see. There's this one component here, and then there's one component here. Right in the corner of those two is where the hole goes. And each end of those components, that's continuous. They are joined together. So all I do is put a little blob of solder right in there, and away we go. And this is check this in the magnifying glass. Yeah, there's the hole. This is not really the easiest thing to do, and I don't have even the super finest tip on. I should have put the super finest. Just somehow get a little blob on there, just like that. I got kind of lucky. So this is not really the easiest thing to do. Check in the magnifying glass. Yeah, it looks like I got it on there right with this thicker